Bonsoir tout le monde. My name is Saber. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm an American expat living currently in Paris, a little bit in between Scotland and Paris. I don't know, it depends on where I follow the muse. But I help women get paid to be them on social media, sharing what the fuck they're passionate about. And I just felt really called to share this piece because I get asked this a lot. Okay, first of all, I just crossed my 6-year anniversary of working online. 6 years, building my social media, building a personal brand. I partnered with a digital wellness company actually 6 years ago, and that's what's been able to fund my personal brand, fund my social media, fund my travels, fund my retreats, fund the whole fucking shebang. And one of the biggest things that I see, especially for women in business, women wanting to start a business, all these kinds of things, is this balance of masculine and feminine. It's like such a big talk right now. And I just wanted to share how I personally see it, because I personally feel I have this ethos where we have both traits, right? Masculine, feminine. You are a woman or you are a man. Don't even talk to me about the in-between right now. It's not what this video is about. But anyway, we have the masculine and feminine traits in us, both of them, and they're traits, and we use them depending on certain situations, right? So essentially, we have these two sides of the coin where I see a lot of people kind of going a bit sideways, and I'll just speak even from myself included, is there was a time where I felt like I needed to just be in my feminine flow to make things happen. And then I would kind of pendulum swing where I would either be in this flow state and I wouldn't have enough structure. I would kind of let things fall through the cracks. I wouldn't be putting things on my calendar. I would be missing appointments, etc., etc. And then I would sort of pendulum swing the other way. And a lot of people are doing this right now, especially this time of year because of New Year, New You bullshit, right? But then we pendulum swing to the other side where we get all super poignant and perfect and really detailed on our structure and our schedule, and then we crash and burn, and then we pendulum swing to the other side. And I just wanted to share a little bit how I personally view how I work with my masculine and feminine energy, because at this point I recognize that a lot of the people, especially the people that I have been mentored by and I've watched them get to this place, I'm telling you, over 6 years, we're talking about ease and flow. There was a time where they didn't do that. There was a season of their life where they needed to actually make some sacrifices. They needed to lose some sleep. Maybe they were transitioning out of a job, right? You can't literally possibly be working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, and try and have a fucking social life and try and take care of your health and maybe have a love life in between and maybe have some downtime and build a business. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna need to be some fucking sacrifices, and anyone who's built something long term, they know that. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people who still actually share about this whole feminine energetics in business and how the new wave of doing business is just being in your feminine. But it's literally those people I watch that are saying that message now that I saw at one point building. And I think that that's the piece that I personally just look at it. Y'all ever drove a stick shift? I learned how to drive on a stick shift. If you don't know how to drive a stick shift, I will teach you, not officially right now, but essentially you got the clutch, you got the driver accelerator, right? If you have to let your foot off the clutch as you press the gas, and if you want to change gears, if you're going up a hill, or if things are slowing down, you're going to have to press the clutch again, shift gears, accelerate, and it's like this dance, yeah? So that's how I see personally my masculine and feminine is there's times where my feminine gets to lean back, absolutely, but within myself, I need to actually set up that structure for myself, for my feminine to actually lean back. So one of my biggest hacks personally is podcasts, micro podcasts. There are podcasts out there like 5 to 15 minutes where some of my favorite ones are like obviously Joe Dispenza or Jay Shetty or Layla Hermosi, Alex Hermosi. There's another woman, her name is Cody something or other, Mel Robbins. There's so many different amazing people who do these podcasts that are shorter and longer, and kind of depending on what energy I need, I will brainwash myself and listen to these podcasts and these people as much as I fucking need to get my energy in balance for what I know I'm sort of needing extra of. Sometimes I'll listen to a more feminine podcast that's really talking about more energetics and being more present in the moment and connecting with gratitude and these types of things. When I feel like I'm starting to go in that pendulum swinging of being so just harping on myself, because this is what I do when I'm very much pendulum swinging all the way to that side where I am I've been quite a dictator to myself, where it's like my masculine energy could be like shaming myself into getting shit done, and that's why it doesn't sustain for a lot of people. So ultimately, I really just embrace both of these energies both together, and I look at them as like you're driving a stick shift. Literally, anywhere you drive, you're going to be using both. Sometimes if you're going a long distance, you're probably not really going to be on the clutch much. You're going to be on the accelerator for quite a while, right? And then there's some times where you get to go around the scenic routes and take the loop-de-loos, and then you pivot, and then you do get to actually lean back a bit. So essentially, I just fill my mind with the exact opposite energy of what I'm looking for. So personally for me, it was, I was dealing with quite a bit of my back pain due to my sciatica. It's getting a lot better now, thank God. It's getting a lot better now. I've been doing a lot of walking. But, I was getting in this space where I was just like unplugging a lot, which I really needed, I loved, I embraced, and I was like feeling that urgency within me of like, okay, I need to like actually get my shit together right now and make some shit happen. So I am currently on a Hermosi tip. I love Alex and Layla Hermosi. They're personally for me like a dream relationship. Their first date, Alex was like, why are you doing this kind of business? You could just work for me and make more. And she was just like, what? And then they started a business together and made 100K in their first launch. And anyway, the story is very beautiful. And they're just both such fucking powerhouses. Either one of them, you listen to them together, individually, is very powerful. And I have some of my go-to for my more feminine podcasts as well. But like, honestly, I'm in a phase where I just came back to Paris. I was in the flow a lot in Scotland, just really embracing musing around castles and taking rest for my pain, and just really like allowing myself to be in that space. But I was really recognizing that I needed to get back into my synergy, and I could feel that I was pendulum swinging a bit to that end. So I just wanted to share this because I know it's been something that's been really helpful for me. It's a big topic that a lot of people talk about, is they're really trying to achieve balance. And I feel like for us women, I see a lot of women actually copping out on doing the things that they need to fucking do to build their empire, to do the things that they want to do. If they want to leave a job, if they want to not be dependent on some man that they've been dependent on and they really want to get out, or they want to go live abroad, they don't do things unless it feels in alignment or in flow or when it's comfortable. And that's just not how it goes. It's just not. Those are usually the times where you're like, okay, like this is time. If there's something that you want, you got to create the structure and infrastructure for it. It's like, it's not about having the fucking universe is gonna, that saying, the universe provides, drives me crazy, because what people miss in the word of manifestation, or like, let's say the law of attraction, right? That's taught within the law of manifestation teachings. Law of attraction, they miss the word action, and then people are just praying or thinking that this is going to all work out if they just change their thoughts, they change their beliefs, they change their inner work. And I am such a fan of quantum jumping. Like, don't get me wrong. There is so much in the unseen that we don't see that actually has most to do with what we do in the world. But the thing is we still got to do, right? And I just feel like more of us women, we really need to embrace that fact. And, you know, there was this whole boss babe era going on where a lot of women were going on that. And now it's like I've seen it collectively shift, at least within my algorithms and the circles that I've been around. It's kind of been pendulum swinging, and I've been observing my own pendulum swing within the greater collective pendulum swing of coming to this calibration and finding what it is that works for us. Not one thing that works for one person is going to work for everyone. But personally, for me, wherever I'm at in my journey, if I know what I need, like, look, if you're at a point where you know you have a long laundry list of things to do, but you feel like you just can't get ahead because they're not getting on your calendar, you keep like missing out on things or missing appointments or whatever, you're one of those people that someone schedules something with you and you forget, you get the time zones wrong, whatever. This happens. It's not a thing that's never gonna happen. But also, if you are actually on your shit in regards to everything, right? With how you're eating, with how your home is being kept, how your travel plans are being laid out. There's so much that you can outsource and delegate. That's a whole nother thing for another different time, another topic. But I really feel that this video personally is for the woman who's kind of at that space where she's not fully yet in the place of overflow to automate, delegate, or outsource her things. So she feels like, what the fuck? Like, I do want to get out of this job and the patriarchy of working overtime, and I can't do this with my body, but how the fuck do I possibly get the spoons to build a business and build an empire for me to actually get out of that? And I really believe it's really just about embracing the fact that we're both going to have these masculine and feminine energies within us. If you feel that you need more of that structure, like, go listen to some of your favorite podcasts, some of the people that I have mentioned. And if you feel like maybe you're at a time where you're like, you know what, I am actually overworking, I'm doing too much, I'm not lightening my schedule, then that's going to be an invitation for you to actually start listening to more feminine podcasts. You know, I think it was the first 4 years of my online business, most of my mentors, not all of them, but most of the books I was reading, the podcasts I was listening to, everything was actually mainly men. And I had a really big paradigm shift that happened when I really started embracing some of these more feminine teachings, feminine teachers, and they had to be ones that resonated with me. I'm personally not one of those women that I'm just not a super love and light person. I like the edge, you know, like, give me someone who's got the edge. If they're bringing in these feminine teachings, but they also have that edge where they're they're holding that balance of both. I love that. But even so, sometimes it's been really powerful for me to actually open to these more softer teachers and philosophers and muses and coaches, for me to actually expand this space that maybe I feel a bit of resistance to. Yeah, because that's another thing that comes up. When we be pendulum swinging, you know when you're all the way over here and you are just like on your shit like a motherfucker, and then someone's like all up in their feelings, you're just like, fuck your feelings, follow the plan. You're just like in that space. That actually is such a beautiful opportunity to lean in and grow and see what's there. Which ultimately I feel really has come for me by having the awareness of when I'm pendulum swinging and allowing myself to just brainwash myself with the opposite, you know? So that's what I have to share today. I'm really excited to be back in Paris. I'm basically just, oh God, I've been away from my cats and away from my home for 4 months. And I actually just got this room available for Airbnb, actually. I have a woman staying tonight and tomorrow, and it's pretty fun because she actually connected with me here. So I'm really excited for that and to actually share that more as well. I'm probably going to be doing some trips and home swapping and things like that. So I would definitely keep an eye on my page. I have a lot of things that I'm going to be releasing too that have a lot to do with castles in the UK. All right, my dears, thank you so much for listening. And I would love to know down below what was helpful for you in this video. And do you also feel that you pendulum swing? What are some ways that you have allowed yourself to sort of balance those energies of pulling off the clutch and going into the accelerator, or vice versa, in your journey to do what it is that you need to do in this world? Let us know below. Bye for now.